Transmission incoming. Connected.
Welcome to the Rogue Blasted podcast. We're a few people down today, but we are going to dive straight into it. And today we're taking a look at the best ways of going from sort of casual play to competitive play, and sort of tips and advice around that from some of the people with us. So we have some advice from that self-proclaimed best towel player in the North. And some solid and dependable advice from our Imperial Fist Commander as well. So that's Connor and James with us.
Hello.
I myself, as I'm still getting back into it, so I'm just sort of going to be trying to keep up, frantically scribbling down notes as we go. First off, we'll start with some Grimdark's Would You Rathers.
Yeah.
So the first one for you guys, would you rather arm wrestle Khan or have Fabius Bile remove a tooth? Should we start with Connor for this one?
I think I'd have Fabius Bile remove a tooth because he's
Interesting choice here, mate.
Probably got some good shit there to get the edge off, hasn't he? It might turn you into, you know what I mean? It could not be a bad. You
wouldn't feel a thing.
Worst comes to worst, the tooth's gone, and you got.
I don't think that's the worst outcome of having Fabius Bile do it. I think he might be tempted to maybe take one or two other bits at the same time. Or put something back in?
You might put something back in. Depends, you know. If I'm a Chaos follower at this point, this would be cool, wouldn't it? You know? You're not going to win the arm wrestle, are you, with Khan? You're going to have your arm snapped off. You could get an upgrade from Fabius Bile.
You could get an upgrade. You could be turned into, what does he call them? His new man.
Yeah. We're trying to make the perfect,
All right. I like that though. So, Connor, going for Fabius?
I think so.
James?
I think he's been a little bit too trusting of Mr. Bile, Dr. Bile. I think you'd wake up with missing a kidney or two, missing an arm. You've got an extra leg, an extra mouth on the end of your hand or something.
Okay.
Music playing out of your ears. I think I'd take on Khan. I'm probably going to have a broken arm, broken hand, maybe lose an arm.
Yeah,
I think that's as bad as it gets.
And you've got to roll the dice, haven't you? You've got to roll the dice.
Yeah.
I think you're taking a gamble. Yeah, it could work well. It could be a total horrific nightmare. Yeah, I'll give Khan an arm wrestle. Maybe the rest of the lads, the rest of the berserkers will think that I'm a sort of a top guy for taking him on, having a wrestle with the boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So Connor with Bile, James, you're going for Khan. I think I would have to go with Khan as well, just in the vague hopes that he looks at you as a very puny human arm wrestling him and is like, well done. But Corn would approve of the bravery going on there.
If you won, he'd kill you.
You wouldn't win.
He's called Khan the Betrayer. The Betrayer for a reason. You don't trust anyone whose last name is the Betrayer, do you?
But you're trusting Fabius Bile.
Yeah, but he could give me an upgrade.
He's got a good point.
He could.
I think they're both quite large rolls of the dice going on here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one. So, would you rather become a servitor with your brain still intact or be caught by a Talos pain engine? Should we go with James this time round?
I mean, talk about grim dark. We've gone about as grim and dark as possible.
Yeah, that's like
horrendous.
You have a top yourself, wouldn't you, in both situations? Let's be brutally honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably go for the servitor and either hope they messed up so I was completely lobotomized and had no memory or anything whatsoever. Or if I did, then there was an opportunity for me to fall off a very high gantry somewhere and smash myself to pieces and hope they didn't rebuild me. Maybe fall into some molten steel somewhere, something like that. And
do the Terminator 2 ending.
Do the Terminator.
Yeah. Okay, nice. All right. Yeah, I like that. Connor, what are we thinking?
I don't know. Either are shocking.
It's horrendous.
Ooh. I want to say the pain engine, I think.
Interesting. Okay.
I think because the way Drukhari are like, you're going to be in agony either way. Because if they're forgotten to lobotomize you, you're going to feel everything. You're going to feel everything as that servitor. at a certain point, realistically, the pain engines turn you into something else, don't they? Like you become a part of you're dead, and they merge parts of you into like a greater thing. That's what they did with the ethereals, didn't they? Like they took a load of them and put out, and then it's like big pain engines. You become a pain engine, don't you? But you're dead. They kill you in a lot of pain, but at least you're dead, and you reuse your parts to build other things.
Yeah, that's a good
I
point.
think that process, unfortunately, can take a very long time, and I think they're going to try and make sure that you're awake for most of it.
Depends how urgent they need the extra stuff. You know what I mean? If there's a war going on, if they need those pain engines, they need those parts. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're hoping if this is taking place like at a very dire time for the Dark Elder, and they're like, right, we need this now, processing, get him through.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there'll be a little bit of me throughout the galaxy, won't there? It'd be quite cool. I'm like a Coca-Cola bottle. I get reused multiple times.
Connor lives on forever as part of
environmentally friendly.
Vect.
Yeah, environmentally friendly.
I like that as a choice. Yeah. The environmental friendly way of becoming part of the Talos Pain engine. Nice. Okay, continuing on that vibe, would you rather have to survive for a week in Cormora or a day on a World Eater's flagship?
And we're who we are. Like I'm James, the human being.
You are James and you are Connor.
You're not a hell brute, mate. No, you don't get out of it that way.
You don't know how this day might go. It might be by the end of it.
World Eater's flagship.
There's probably a lot of hiding places on that ship.
Yeah,
they're big. They're bloody big.
The ship will kill you itself. The whole ships are living things. Have you not seen the Death Guard ones? No, the fucking walls will get you.
Yeah,
I think I would rather be on a World Eaters than a Death Guard ship, though.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The smell alone from the Death Guard ship would be a bit.
Yeah, but there'd be someone.
You'd be diseased
everything would be
and dead
spiky,
within
wouldn't it?
minutes.
Everything would be spiky.
Quite bloody, I imagine.
I don't think there's like escape pods on these things either. Really, it's like Halo where you can jump in the escape pod and there you go. You're on the ring, are you? It doesn't work like that.
Or you get in what you think is an escape pod, and it's just an open door that just shoots you out into space.
Suppose you could go down.
I'd take my chances on the ship.
On the ship, just for the day.
Tattoo yourself up, couldn't you? Pretend to be like a cultist.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like Conrad would be a good crack, though, wouldn't it? No. Hear me out right.
I'm never going out with Connor after that.
It's not just dark out there. It's not just dark. If you get caught and you get put in these fucking fighting things, it won't work. But imagine like the Harlequins are quite well known for hanging around. So imagine you make friends with the Harlequins. Next thing you know, you're walking around with a jester face. Make it be wicked. You're like a clown, then, aren't you? You'd be like a mascot. So you have to find the right people in Camera. That's the thing. If you can get in with the Harlequins, you're all right. Because all you go, you're putting on an ice mask, you're running around on a motorbike or a jet bike, whatever you want to call it. If you can play your cards right in Camera, I reckon there's some pretty good. You've got a bit of dosh, I reckon you could make it work.
I quite like the differing thoughts here. So James is like, right, one day on the World Eater ship, I could probably hide. I might be able to get away with it.
Lay low.
Connor's more like, yes, I want to go for a week in Comora so I can meet some Harlequins and make some friends.
If it don't, the likelihood is I'll get found and put in a Colosseum and die. But if I actually manage to, if let's say I amuse them, as like a little mascot, I might, if I amuse them, I might be wicked. A bit of intel. Nobody comes willingly, do they? So they might be impressed with the fact that I've come there willingly.
I just love the image of the old model of Abyssal Vect. He's got like 2 half-dressed slave girls on his ship. If we could just replace those with the little model of Connor, just like
Jabba the Hutt style.
You're there, just like
Princess Leia role.
Nice.
Oh God.
It could work. Could be interesting. So I think my thinking was going somewhere in between these because I figured Cormora's so huge that maybe I'd be able to do James's tactic of just hiding, but somewhere for like a week in the city. But
just
less exciting than joining the Harlequins, to be fair. Nice. Wicked. I think that's all the Would You Rathers, unless either of you have any that you'd like to throw out.
No, that's enough grim images in my mind.
Yeah,
for now.
Okay.
that
All right.
went pretty. That
Did
went
we go
pretty
too dark for that?
That went pretty dark this week, didn't it? Ooh.
So this is what happens when we don't have the adults in the room to tone it all down.
Yeah.
Wicked. All right. So I think, as we said at the top, so we're here today to just sort of look at ways to go from that sort of casual gameplay when you're first sort of starting out, learning the ropes, to then looking at the more competitive scene and starting going to tournaments. As we mentioned, we have Connor, who's a sort of veteran tournament player at this point, and James, who's really getting into the scene currently, and myself, who's played maybe about 6 games total. So I think we'll be leaning heavily on their expertise during this one. Should we go maybe 1 point from one person, 1 point from the other, and then switch back?
Yeah.
Cool. Who wants to go up first?
Go on, Connor.
Nice.
Don't be afraid to lose a game. If you are a super competitive person who wants to win every single game, this hobby is not for you. That's the thing. You will lose your games. You need to learn how to lose it like a man or a woman, and you need to crack on and don't let it ruin. There's nothing worse than having a sulk on your face when you've lost a game.
Yeah, good point.
Be prepared going into this that you are going to lose a lot.
So that's a interesting point, because obviously it can be quite natural to, like, especially if you're getting absolutely smashed, to be a bit like just, what's the word? Just finding it a bit challenging, or maybe that. So how would you in that state then go, right, I'm going to make the most of this, or learn from it, or what are the steps you would take in that situation?
If you're lucky enough to play against one of the best players in area, in your field or in Britain or in the world or whatever, and you're getting smashed to that point, it's a great opportunity to learn, because at that point they know they've won. And most of these players will give you points and say, what would they have done differently? How would you have changed the list?
Yeah.
How to avoid this next time. Use it. At this point, the game's over. You might only be halfway through, but then they will. It's like imagine getting a masterclass coaching session that you didn't have to pay for. That's how I would.
Okay.
I've lost to some really good players, and it's the only way you can get better is losing to better players. If you keep on playing the same group of people that you're smashing every time, you're not going to become a better player. It's all great to say, I want to play this one guy every week because I'll always kick his ass, but you'll never become a better player because of it. The only way you will get better is by playing people that are better than you.
Yeah. You hear that, James?
Yes. You need to get better.
Sorry, yes, I do. That's why we're here. Okay, cool. But I think
I'd agree with that for sure.
Yeah. Have you got any, like, either of you specific moments where you've got, like, that was a big loss, but out of that, I'm going to never do X again, or, I'm going to really try and improve Y, or I know I need this unit, or any sort of, like, major lessons that come from it?
Well, the first time I ever played 10th edition properly at my club, I was playing some of the best players, and a friend of mine called Ed. He's still better than me, but the gap's closed. It's closed quite a bit, actually. But if he sees this, he might disagree with me, but that's fine. But he's the player that, after the game was done, he set up the scenario, which I should have done better, and it gave me the very importance of screening units. And there's certain things you will not be able to learn unless it happens to you. There's certain ways you're going to put a unit. It's going to die anyways. You can screen, and what that means is basically you're putting a worse unit to stop your other enemy units getting through. So it's picking up lessons along the way. Realistically, as long as you've got the group with you that can help you and are willing to show you as well, it's the sky's the limit, really.
Yeah. Okay, that's really cool.
And it's I've had a couple of games. I've only played 2 tournaments, but in those, there's a couple of bits I felt a little bit like, I've just been crushed. And they pointed out a couple of straightforward things. Like, if you'd moved there, and if I hadn't rolled like 4 out of 5 5-ups, and that had died, that really would have changed the game. And little things like that make you think, okay, maybe it wouldn't have been as bad. So remembering as well, you're going to lose, and remember, we're rolling dice, so things will just
dice game,
sometimes.
You can't predict it all the time, can you?
Yeah. Well, I think even me and you have had a few like sections in games where it's come down to sort of just a matter of rolling dice, and you just sort of it can completely sort of change that turn, and then that knocks on everything. Oh, that's okay. Wicked. All right. So don't be afraid to lose. Number 1 from Connor.
Mm.
Good point.
All right.
Good point.
James, do you want to give us one of yours?
As usual, I've got a little bit of homework I've done here.
Nice. Let's see it.
And it kind of links in. I've put here, if someone experienced that you've played gives you a bit of advice that your list needs a bit more of this or take something out,
Yeah.
unless you absolutely detest the particular unit or the models they're suggesting, and you've got no interest whatsoever. But otherwise, take that advice, because they've played way, way more games than you. Are going to be much more experienced. At least consider it. Listen to what people are telling you.
Yeah.
Because you expect to lose, but no one wants to lose 5 out of 5 or 3 out of 3 games, tournament after tournament after tournament. You want to feel competitive, don't you? It doesn't matter if you lose, but you just want to feel like you're in the fight.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think they almost sound quite similar, but I see quite an important difference in one is like, say, Connor's, you've got to go in and just be prepared to lose. And then from the next part is from James is when that does happen, make sure to take on board that feedback that you're getting from these players who have been doing it for potentially years or probably decades in some cases.
Decades.
Yeah. Nice. Any specifics again, James, that you've sort of, if someone's pointed out, like changes you could make or tweaks or anything?
Yeah, I mean, Elliot, the guy I played at London GT, he suggested I give Gladius Detachment a go rather than Vanguard Spearhead. And he pointed out a few reasons why, like because of the units you've got, you'd be able to do this, and that would help you do that. And then it sort of, thought, oh yeah, okay, yeah, maybe you're right, maybe I should do that, and I have done since, and I think it was a smart thing to do.
Gladius is a very good detachment as an all-rounder. You can do so much with it.
I think it's good for beginners as well, because it's like, it gives you get out of jail free cards. You can like think, oh god, I'm all out of position here, but then you can think, okay, hold on, I can advance and charge with everyone, or I can advance and shoot with everyone. But it gives you a little bit of a get out of jail free card. Nice. I think that's, if you're a Space Marine player and you're new, it's probably a good option. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Wicked. Yeah, I think that's a really good one. Cool. Connor, do you want to give us one?
So it kind of mixes in a bit with James a little bit, as I thought these probably will mix in between the two, is when you have picked a list that you might not even be happy with it, the best thing to do is if you play a list and you play your first game and you do horribly with it, you will feel the urge to change your list. Do not do that. Do not do that. The best way to get better is understanding your faction's army mechanics and your unit rules. So you build a list and you put reps and reps and reps into it. The more reps you put in with a list, the better you will become with the faction. And so after you play about 10 or 12 games, you will know truly, was it just that one game it did bad? Am I playing the unit wrong, or is this unit not for me? You will not know that after 1 or 2 games. You play 10 to 15 games with the same list, and then you make minor tweaks. Okay, I'm going to move this unit out for this unit, and then you give it another go. Yeah. Oh, that did better. That's brilliant. That you fine-tune your list. You don't just play a couple of games of it and think, no, that's shite, I'm not going to do it again. You just play you know, that's not the way, unless you've made it a horrible like Smurf list. But if you put a bit of thought and effort into your list, just play it and continuously. The more reps you have with your list, because the most times people lose games is they forget to use abilities, they forget sequences, they forget stratagems, they forget enhancements. If you forget those things, your army's not going to do well because you're not using it at its full potential. You use the same list for 12 games in a row. You don't have to worry about learning any unit stats. You'll know them relatively well. So you can focus on using stratagems well, using enhancements well, using your army rule well. And then you can start making those choices of, I want to branch a bit more into this area or this area or this area. And then once you have that list, you've got that locked in. You can even start experimenting with other detachments and making other lists. But the idea is at least then you know the core mechanic. So pick a list, get some reps into it, and then see where you are from there.
Yeah. Treating it like proper training or learning anything, you just need to know it inside out before you can start making those big sweeping changes. Because I know I'm guilty of this as a new player. Like, if you've listened to any of the other episodes, had one match where, like, say half the army died in 2 turns. I'm like, oh well, tyranids are awful. And then I'm like, then another match where I'm like, oh no, this balances out, and it's because I was just doing the wrong stuff. So 100% I'm guilty of this. Yeah, that's a really good one.
The blog I'm writing at the moment is exactly that. It's how after London GT, you could probably remember I was thinking about getting a couple of big knights in, all the allies, all the tanks, more Dakar. And then eventually I was like, okay, I'll take a breath. Just take a breath a minute. And yeah, play with what you've got.
That does make so much sense though as well, especially after the first experience. Just be like, oh no, it must be X or Y, especially if you've had that like battle with someone and then that unit's done something amazing. You're like, oh wow, that must be awesome. And then, yeah, it's how it's used rather than what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, and you may end up doing that. You might have an inkling and think, oh, I've not got enough anti-elite weaponry or something. But Connor's still right. Don't change straight away. Play another half a dozen, 10, 12, 15 games or whatever. Yeah. And then by then you'll be sure and you'll think, I was right. Or not.
A lot of units have different weapon options as well, don't they? So if you like the unit, just like weapon loadout, change the weapon loadout first rather than the unit. Like, in my crisis suits, I have 3 different types. There's nothing wrong with I need a bit more anti-tank, so you go for the more anti-tank ones, that's fine. The idea is just to not if you just massively change your list every time, you will really, really put a wall in front of you for your own progression. You'll get there in the end, but it'll take so much longer and you'll make so many more mistakes on the way.
Yeah. Going back to James's point there as well, could you almost say that by getting to know your list, you're able to say, oh, I need more anti-elite, rather than if you're just changing that list, you might just go, oh, that's unit shit, rather than saying, no, I just need a different focus or to use it differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it also allows people to try and not... There's not a lot of unhonest people in Warhammer, but there are a few, and the better you know your rules, the better you can pull other people. Let's say you're playing another Space Brain player who's trying to pull something that isn't correct. You have the know-how then to say, that's not right. And then, if you think, if you've been doing it wrong, at least then you can get the respect and get the help. But knowing your rules really well stops people taking advantage of it as well.
Yeah, 100%. Nice. Have you got any examples of this almost in action where you've sort of held off from making these changes, given it a few extra learning experiences, and then realised like, oh, this unit I thought was crap is actually really good for a different thing or different role?
In that sense, I went through a phase where I did really well. And then I wanted to play all the new detachments, and I changed my list every week. And I went through a losing streak of like 13. I'm like, what is going on? So I literally just went back to basics, went back to the first detachment I ever used, and just built the list and played it for like 3 months straight. And then I got back on form again. If you rotate your list too much, it will really impact you. And I don't know why it happens, but it can. And I got cocky thinking, I'm winning really well now. Let's branch out to some other stuff now. And I kind of backfired quite quickly.
Yeah.
It's not the detachment's fault. You can't use the same list for multiple detachments and expect it to work. You need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. You, James, sorry?
Probably go back to that example after London GT. I was virtually on the phone to Steve, so right, you need to start painting some Vindicators, get them painted now.
If he's busy, just jump on Matt as well, why not?
Yeah. But I was able to sort of shake that off. But I did just take the one bit of advice from that Space Wolf player, Elliot.
Yeah.
Recognizing that I can't try to big the guy up, but I think he was like the 2nd or 3rd ranked player in Ireland or something. So, he was a really good player. And I thought, if he's given me this advice, there's got to be something in it. So I took that bit of advice, switched detachment, because he said that my list would fit that detachment better. But list-wise, I've stayed the same, I'll just learn my rules. Like Connor said, remembering to use your stratagems and just simple things. When everything's new, you've got too much in your head to try and remember it all. And you forget to, and then afterwards, at the end of the game, you think, I didn't do that, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. But it does come with time, like trust the process.
Yeah.
With some repetitions, you'll start to
Nice.
remember stuff, and suddenly you'll be putting together some nice little combos. And like constantly, that's kind of they're the nice parts, aren't they? When you like, you line up a couple of units and a couple of particular strats who buff each other and things, and then it comes off, and you say, "Oh, that was really nice. That I'm pleased with that."
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Wicked. Cool. So we've got don't be afraid to lose. Listen to the experienced players. Don't change the list. James, have you got another one for us?
It merges slightly again, so get lots of reps in. But I've put
Nice.
to actually do some revision. Like, be a little bit of a geeky nerd. Get your codex open every now and then, and just read over your stats and things. Because if you know how many shots something's got or what the AP is and things, it will save you so much time and faff when you're playing a game, and give you more time to relax. I think that's where you can start, especially in a tournament game. Someone you might be playing on a clock. Someone might have decided that you're going to be playing on a clock and you're being timed. If you know all your stats and all your how many dice you're going to be rolling, whatever, that it makes a big difference. Don't sit there like you're studying for your A levels, but
flashcards and
but
big whiteboard of like AP.
Well, the other thing of here, you mentioned about a card. Have some little cheat sheets or cheat cards. For a couple of units you know you're going to be using. Yeah,
you can see your data cards with you. Yeah,
if they're not out of date.
Sorry, it's not wrong though. Some of them are absolutely out of date already. I won't even touch the admech ones, but that's
well, you could overwrite them. Get a Sharpie out, couldn't you?
Yeah. People use Tipex, Pex and stuff on them all the time. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So you're learning as much of the sort of like mechanics and fundamentals of it, especially your specific codex, just so you can focus more time on decisions you need to make and making sure that you're remembering everything, rather than just being like, could this guy make that charge? What's his actual movement? That sort of stuff.
Yeah. Or you'll know these Riptides do a strength 10, 3 damage attack or whatever it might be. They'll be perfect into those head takers or something. You won't have to sort of look up and think, oh, what can they do? What can't they do? It takes time, doesn't it, to know what you're doing. Some people are better at remembering things than others, but those data cards, write on them and stuff. So you've got it there. You can easily look at it.
Well, I think I showed you my homemade data cards.
Well, yeah, but it works, doesn't it? It works.
It does.
Yeah, it really did. It was the other week where I didn't have him and I had to keep opening my phone. It just takes time off the match. Yeah, it's not great. No, it's a really good one. Sweet.
Never be afraid to ask questions is a big one.
Yeah, a good one.
Never be afraid to ask questions.
There's a lot of people in this. There's a lot of rules in 40k, and most of the community is very honest, right? But you will get a few people that will deliberately try and manipulate rules, right? It's very rare, but it does happen. A lot of people say the wrong rules by mistake, and they don't even realising it, which is the majority of issues. So if you think something sounds too good to be true, ask.
Yeah.
Anyone who's sure of themselves will show you the codex, and if they are wrong, most of them will be quite apologetic in the end. But it's the main thing. If something seems that, that's very good, can I have a look? May I just see how that's, if you think the sequencing of cards, when is it used? So people use things that's in your shooting phase, but try and use it on Overwatch and stuff like that. There's so many words in this game that everybody makes mistakes. I have made mistakes. I'm sure James will and has done. We all make mistakes. So the minute if it doesn't sound quite right to you, just ask. No one's going to be offended. Everyone has a codex with them usually. No one's going to take any offence to it. Just ask. If you're not sure.
Has it ever happened to you where you've been going about something and someone's been like, are you sure this is right? And you've had to be like, oh crap, I've been playing this unit the wrong way.
I've had it multiple times where I have been right, and I've even had it. I thought I don't know why, but I thought the crew lawn spear had a infiltrate, and it didn't. So I've been playing. I was playing it for a year with infiltrate when it just had stealth for the lone operative. And I didn't realise until someone said, "Are you sure it has infiltrate?" I don't think it does. And oh shit, it doesn't. Yeah, and it's just one of those things where it's just kind of blurred and you've not realised it has. To be fair, I didn't take it to any events or anything, so it's just one of those. I was, oh shit, you know.
But I think there's as well, because I think, I mean, James knows this, with some units, especially in the Tyranid Codex, you kind of expect them to have an ability that they don't, just because of the way they look, or the rules and the laws. So something like that, the Kroot sounds like, yeah, of course it would have infiltrate. It's Kroot, like that's what they do. So you can see where it happens as well when you're not thinking that to James,
Yeah, I got called out in the last tournament. I was moving my heavy intercessors 6 inches. And they only moved 5. Yeah. Little things like that.
She said, "She makes a difference."
Well, I said, "Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right." And sure enough, they shouldn't be moving 5. There's
Just
so
like
much
turn
to
4
remember.
in game 5, or
It was game 2.
oh, okay, nice and early at least.
Well, saying that, I've played all of London GT and no one called me out there. I was moving from 6.
It's because nobody uses heavy intercessors. That's what it is.
Yeah,
like, what is this? What is this unit here? What is this?
What are these chunky lads? I mean,
I love it. Amazing.
Luckily, because they've got assault and they're advancing most of the time anyway. It probably that's probably what confused people as well, because I've been moving 7 or 8 or whatever. So it's not as obvious as with some units. But yeah, people make mistakes.
Nice. But yeah, that's a good one as well. So now, run through the list. We've got don't be afraid, listen to experienced players, don't change the list, but also revise, and never be afraid to ask questions. Cool. James, do you reckon you got another one?
It's a little bit more of a fun one, this, and something that I've noticed, and I'm going to start shutting people down in future, I think, to save us all a bit of time. It's
okay. It's fascinating to see what this one's going to be.
It's not a problem, but don't feel you have to tell your opponent every single stat line and ability and enhancement and skill of your entire army, because it's very nice that you want to do that and very kind. But all you're doing is eating into both of yours time. Time starts when the round starts, not when you two start playing. So if you're there, as in the last tournament, really nice guy, like lovely guy, good fun to play our game against. But I would say probably 15 minutes at least, he was going through all his army and what different things do and showing me the models and things. It's not needed. If you want to give people a quick rundown, tell them like what fights first, what can advance and charge, fall back and shoot, that kind of stuff. That's what people want to know. Who's got a reactive move? What can uppy downy? Other than that, play it and
don't need all
people.
People.
No, it gets too much. You can't take it all in anyway.
Yeah, because you can't. I think that's almost half of our sort of bits here of being you can't know everything, so you need to make allowances for it. I do think we've lost Connor, which now might be a good chance for me to ask, what is uppy downy? I hear it mentioned a lot. I have no idea what it means.
I put this in one of my blogs of all these weird terms. Like, hello mate, you got any uppy downy? I was thinking, what they want some drugs from me or something, what they trying to score? It's
like, this is a Warhammer tournament, mate. I'm not selling it.
There's a few other things as well. I can't remember a few other sort of dodgy terms. What are you on about? It's uppy downy. They're units that can leave the table and go into. Some will just go into strategic reserve. Some will go into deep strike reserve. Depends on the unit. Just talk us through what uppy downy is. It's not to do with dealing drugs.
Let's just hear, Connor's away quickly. Sorry, what's this rule going on?
I'm good. Sorry, I had a weird internet issue. Sorry, I apologise. I'm back.
Welcome back, Connor.
Thank you. I understood. I understand most of what James has to say. To be fair, your opponent will ask you what they want to know. Yeah. The only thing is, if somebody's very new and he says, "I have never played Tau before, walk me through it," and then you just go through it really quickly. But Space Marines are very good because 9 times out of 10, everybody knows what Space Marines do. Everybody knows what Alpha Moment is. Everyone knows what Terminators do. Everyone knows what this and does. So just tell me your detachment, tell me your special rules, tell me who's been what done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are there any factions you two have come across where that was almost needed.
Yes.
Where they've had like very elaborate rules or very strange stuff where you've had to be like, no, you need to actually take me through this because I just don't know what's going on.
Imperial Agents. That list, I understand that army. It's like, it's never played it once. I was clueless.
Okay.
Death Watch is also is one of those ones as well. You don't very rarely see Death Watch, or you see it a bit more now, but Death Watch is very rules heavy. And Drukhari is also a very wordy faction, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mainstream ones, everyone knows what Necrons do with the reanimation, Space Wolves, Tyranids. Most people know the majority of Tyranid ones. It's just, there's a few factions that are sort of very complicated to play that you just need that little bit extra rundown.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. James, similar viewpoint with that, do you reckon?
I think, to be honest, where I'm still a novice, I just want to know the basic bits, like what fights first.
Yeah.
I might point at something that I think, does that unit there have anti-tank guns? That sort of stuff. Just so I know roughly, okay, they could blow up a tank. They've got rubbish melee, that type of thing. Aside from that, I'd maybe then ask, as I'm playing, like, if I'm about to charge something, I might say, okay, what's the defensive profile of that unit? If I don't know it, if it's some Dire Avengers or something that I don't know what they do. Or just, I might say, have they got a reactive move? Just to make sure I'm not going to get gotcha'd, I'm going to try and charge them and then they're blooming 12 inches across the other side of the table or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That
Otherwise,
makes a lot of sense.
You can't take it all in otherwise. It's too much.
Yeah, you won't remember it. Your big things are your up and down is what can go up and down, what has low up, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Uppy downy. I don't
It is uppy downy. So, that's what they call it, uppy downy.
Yeah. Just when you just hear something and you just sort of like, I'm going to save that and find out what it means later on. And I was like, right, I need to find out now. Okay, right. So those would be when we were playing last time, like the scouts.
Yes.
Uppy downy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm learning, guys. This is
some
great.
units are very good. Like infiltrators have the infiltrate keyword. Like that, that's what I mean. Like my stealth teams have stealth. There's a few things that are baked into the name that you should be all right with. There's a few things that makes like the Storm Surge blast cannon does not have blast keyword. Makes no sense whatsoever. That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's an issue.
No sense.
Wicked. Thanks, James. Connor, have we got any more from you?
I think I've gone through my key ones. Really, I don't really think I have any more.
Nice. No, I think those are pretty decent ones overall, though.
Yeah. The only other things I'd talk about would be practical little things. Like we sort of joked about. Sit down,
drink,
have
some snacks, drink,
get pissed. To be fair,
water.
Getting pissed at your first tournament is the best thing you can ever do.
Wait, take us through this, Connor. Tell us more.
Well, I every time I go down south, I always get I am having pints throughout the games. It's fantastic. It's so good. Everyone else is having pints with you. So if you know you're not going to win the event, right? if you're going flawless, right? If you're going flawless, by all means, be very careful. Have your protein bars, have your water. You're good. If you lose your first game or something like that, just have a pint. Then you're not going to win the event, all right? Everybody that you're playing has lost a game as well. They're going to be having pints. And next thing you know, you're literally rolling dice, half pissed with somebody else who's half pissed, and it is the most fun you will ever have in your life. It's the most fun you'll ever have.
So
don't get
I'm
paralysed.
going to this tournament for the weekend.
Don't get paralytic. Don't be able to just get merry. It's really good fun.
I don't know. I reckon this is the real reason you said like half the people will sometimes disappear overnight at a tournament. It's not because they got knocked out. They just sort of woken up a bit too hungover in the hotel.
It's the people who were pissed the night before that come back again because they could do it all over again.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had a great time. Of course I want to go back.
Anyone who leaves a tournament halfway through because they've not won, right? Unless it's an emergency, because I understand emergencies are free. Anybody who leaves a tournament because they haven't won halfway through needs to get a grip, right? I can never condone it. Unless there's a family emergency. Stuff happens. If you've won your first two games but lost your last one in game one and you don't come back the next day, that ruins everybody else's experience, all right? You are the
Okay,
problem.
That's
I
true.
think we could.
You are the
I reckon
problem.
we add this as some new rules. So from James, it was sit down, eat properly. With Connor's occasionally drink. And then Connor's one was if you
Enjoy
leave halfway
yourself.
through.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. There we
Get
go.
pissed.
Yeah.
Reasonably,
Have a
drink
bottle of wine.
responsibly, but yes. Yeah, I was having pints of Madry down south last time. It was not cheap, but it was great because your opponents would buy you drinks too. It's great. You want a drink? Yeah, have a drink. You want a drink? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Then knocking back pints of Madry. It was fantastic. It was only £4.50 a
Amazing.
pint, which I thought was quite good for down south prices as well.
That's all right.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's cozy,
pretty
all right.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Where was this, Connor?
It was Chippingham.
Oh, so the
Yes.
same one you're going to next week?
Yes, in the tabletop
Nice.
tactics one. Great crack. Don't get leathered.
Right, so
Well,
we'll keep an
it's
eye. Yeah,
Great.
we'll keep an eye on the Discord group for that's
Yes.
Lion.
I'm
And
going
if on
down
that
with a lot
day
of
you're just
Scottish
like really,
people.
really vocal on the Discord group, and that, all right, there we
I'm
go.
going down with all the Scots.
Oh, mate, amazing.
And it's going to be so much fun. I can tell what's going to happen.
Nice.
I mean, hanging out
Is
my
this
arse there too.
Matt and Co?
No, it's not Matt and Co.
Nice.
It's a lot of people that it's the same
Okay.
area actually. I met quite a few up at Warhammer as well that I've met going down before.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's a good few that I already know. So it's going to be a good crack.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah, excited to hear
pilgrimage
about that,
south.
mate.
You
Sounds
got
wicked.
we've kind of gone on a weird side tangent now, haven't we?
But I feel like it works because at the end of the day, like we do all of this stuff to have fun and
Yeah.
enjoy it.
You
So it's all
don't-
very well
you
sort of
don't
maybe
win
trying to
money.
get a bit better, but you
It's-
need to be able to enjoy it.
Well,
Like
well,
that's kind of the whole reason to be here.
Yeah, we're very lucky, right? Because Warhammer, right, is not financially incentivized in competitive play. Don't get me wrong, you can get sponsorships if you're a really good team. You get trophies, you get vouchers, you can get wargaming, but you're getting stuff to help you in the hobby. I can't go and win London GT
Yeah.
and get 20 grand. That's not how not how
No one's
Warhammer
going to give you a
works.
new Mercedes.
And I'm happy about that because if there was a money, imagine if there was a money cash prize for getting so high up, it would people would be so tight on rules. You move that, no, you're meant to do that. There would be no take backs. It would become super unfriendly. It would be full on competitive. It would be sweaty. You know, it would drive new people away because no one wants to play a game where if you make one minor cock up, you can't sort it out. Everyone does take backs. You know, there's a line. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if I forget to move, let's say I have a unit in Deep Strike turn 3, I was meant to bring down, forgot to do it. It's dead now. No, you can't do it. No, that's not. You know, don't be like that. And if there was money in the scene for like prizes for first place for like £20,000, it would cause massive issues, and there would be more cheating controversy. It would be horrendous. I don't think it would work.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You've thrown
I've
an
never
extra
thought of it
point
like
in
that.
there. You've thrown an extra point in there as to be a friendly opponent.
Yeah, of course.
Be
No
a
one wants
nice-
to be a,
yeah,
no one-
be a-
yeah. Be a nice person.
You want to be someone would want to come back and have another game with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, if the person you're playing wants to be
Nice.
that dick, then you call them out on every little thing as well. If they're going to call you out on every little thing, do not be afraid to call them out on every little thing, and they'll soon realise themselves that they probably shouldn't be that person.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're saying to not rise above it, but sink down to their level.
Fight fire
To a
with
degree.
fire.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what James thinks of this.
Somebody like there was a massive thing, or a lot of people I've seen. There's a massive thing I think someone posted on YouTube a bit ago about how you should play friendly. And this guy was going through like a tournament, and he was being super anal on all the rules. Like if you didn't do it in the right sequence, he'd call you out on it. And as rules is written, he can do that, but it's very bad sportsmanship. So this person knew he was going at this. I think the guy who ran Art of War stopped him. So there was the final game.
Yeah.
The guy who owns Art of War was his opponent, and he called him out on it. So he did to him what he was doing to everybody else. Because he went through the entire event
Nice.
calling everybody out on every little minor rule and using every little advantage to win the tournament. When he got to the final, his opponent did it to him because, you know, anybody else, it would have been a fine take back and stuff like that. But you have to, you reap what you sow, sort of thing. If you're going to be a horrible
I can see
person
that.
to everyone, you're going to get it back at some point, and it'll make you contemplate yourself.
How did he take it? Did he take it with grace, or was he...
I think he was well pissed. There's a video out there. I'll have to link it after. He was not
Really?
happy. Yeah, it was.
Well,
I can't remember who put it on.
Yeah.
YouTuber
Was
guy
it
recently.
Nick Navanati? Butchering your name there, Nick. You're never going to listen to this podcast. You're way too important for us.
I can't remember. It was like
He's
think
already a
it may have
subscriber,
been him.
James. What are you on about?
I think he may have been the one to call the guy out and say, "Oh, look, mate.
yeah, it was the guy. It was the guy who
You've been
runs
doing
Out of
this all
War.
tournament. You're out of order." Yeah.
I saw it on YouTube, and a really big YouTuber put it on saying this saved competitive 40k, and I cannot remember.
I think it was him. It was
who-
Nick. Yeah.
I can't
Yes.
remember
It was-
who
I'm
posted the
pretty
video about it.
I think Art of War have done
It
a
wasn't
couple little
Aspect
clips.
Tactics. Yeah. It wasn't
Yeah.
Aspect Tactics or anything. It was another one as well. I can't remember. I'll have to find
Well, I
it.
quite
now
like
at some
this.
point.
All of these little tips or advice for sort of improving your gameplay and getting better have kind of just led on to a discussion about how you should be a decent sports person and
Yeah.
enjoy the game, which I think
Yeah.
is quite a positive sort of note to finish up on, to
Hmm.
be quite honest. I really like that.
Film
Nice.
book fair.
I would say very quick ones, because obviously I've only played about 6 matches myself, and they were, I would argue, maybe quite similar to you guys. It was review what worked, hasn't worked, read and watch people who are better than you, and then the other one, which I think is maybe quite specific to me, is resist the impulse to get into the big fight. If you see the Terminators across the board, don't just send the Screamer Killer straight in. It's not always going to work out how you think it will, to be honest. Actually try and win the game rather than just looking for the fight. We'll see how those sort of progress over time.
Yeah, I mean, you want to play those fun moments. Naturally, when you start, you want
No,
like
yeah, it
your
gives you a
captain to
narrative,
fight
doesn't
the
it?
other captain, or yeah, you
Yeah,
want
I
to do that
think-
stuff.
I definitely was guilty of maybe trying to engineer it a little bit too much at first.
I like sniping
Nice.
enemy characters. I do enjoy that. There's something nice about a
Yeah.
tower marksman taking out a bloodthirster. Oh, I love it. You know what I mean? I'm taking off
Ooh.
a space lieutenant. I love it. Love it. It's
Nice for who, Connor, mate?
nice for me. It's very thematic for the tower. But, you wouldn't go dirty and slap them in the face, would you? Know you'd snipe them, wouldn't you? Take out the leadership.
Yeah, I think that's
Perfect.
I think
All right, guys. I think that's been our sort of main points that we wanted to cover on the show. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a tiny bit shorter, as it's just 3 of us this week.
We do have the most.
But I want to finish
handsome
just
three, though.
saying, oh, by far.
Absolutely.
And nice. I like it.
Good today.
But yeah, where can we find everybody?
You can find me on the Rogue Fireblade website, on my blog. You can also find me on Instagram at Collins Cadre Command for the whole Tau and some possible Space Marine bits as well.
Yes,
Thank you very
Space
much,
Marines now,
Connor.
not just Tau. For me, it's Instagram, blasted.miniatures.james. And from there, you'll find a link to Blasters Miniatures, who painted my wonderful Imperial Fist army, and link to my blog as well, where I'm rambling on about bits and pieces.
Warhammer related, or
Yeah, mostly. There's a lot of kind of
nice.
there's a lot of 90s film references in there. I don't know why. It seems to just keep pouring out. I was writing about Demolition Man the other day. I don't know why it happens. It just
I
does.
love it. I think I watched Starship Troopers on Friday. It was a great night.
Such a great movie.
Wicked, so good. Nice, thanks, James. You can also find me now. So I'm Grim Dan on TikTok. That will be on Instagram soon. Mostly 40k podcast stuff, but I'm going to start putting up some of my minis and just see what people think. So that's going to be quite cool. Obviously, if you've listened, we'd really appreciate a like and a follow. If you've got any requests or topics, we'd love to hear from you. So feel free to send them in. And you can now email us at studio@rogue-miniatures.co.uk. As always, you can get a Rogue and Blasted t-shirt on the Rogue Miniatures website, which is rogue-miniatures.co.uk, or the Blasted Miniatures website, which is Blasted Miniatures. In other ways, sports show, you can use the Whaling Games affiliate links on the website. So you don't pay any extra, but we just get a little bonus if you're purchasing anything. So Matt can start his 23rd army.
Yes.
Yes. And if you're a fan of Battle Report channels and you haven't already checked about Daily Dice, please go give them a look. They do regular reports with some pretty amazing looking armies.
Yes.
The
And
terrain
that's
and
everything
stuff's amazing
from
too.
us.
Yes. I might be going there myself
really
next
nice stuff.
year as well. So that'll be good.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
I mean,
yeah.
I think we might
That'll be good fun. I
might
can
have to be
branch
doing
out. I'll
some
be a celebrity.
crossover.
I'll be a celebrity.
How are we one day we're going to be able to be like, we knew Connor when he was just doing like the odd podcast and
Podcasts.
blog, and now he's a
And now I'm like,
UK superstar.
Yes, I am. I have
Love it.
my own academy.
Remember
Oh my God.
us, Connor.
Yes.
Remember
Right, okay.
us.
I will. I assume all the
We've got
links
some
will
planning
be
to do after this
down
podcast.
below as well. So if you didn't listen, if you couldn't pick it up,
Yeah.
all links will be below as well. So feel free to have a look, and we'll see you next time.
Nice. Thank you very much, guys.
See you guys.
See you soon.
Rogue transmission ending.